Welcome back to Nintagious. Today we are going to tackle Superhero Mode in Mega Man 11, which is the highest difficulty. I don't really know what to expect here because I haven't watched anyone do it or anything, so I don't know how it's harder. I'm hoping it's more than you take more damage and they have more health, because that would be kind of dumb. But we'll see.
We can't build the future on your empty optimism.
Say what you will. I cannot agree to this.
And then, I don't know if it's going to take the full length of the stream, so I'll probably do some challenge stuff after that, if it comes to it. And I don't know, you could kind of consider this the finale, I guess, because, I don't know if I'll do another stream just to mess around with challenge stuff or not. Yeah, I don't know, realistically, robots with independent thought are way more dangerous than faster and stronger robots that are still in your control. I forgot to silence my phone again. I'm so bad about that. Alright, pixels. And then, Logan, Riley, 7, how is everybody doing? Alright. Only the truest, most hardcore fans need apply. How hard could it be? We don't need to see the intro and everything again, do we? I don't think so. So I think the key to doing superhero mode is going to be buying the hell out of items. I think I'm gonna have to really, stock up on lives and E-tanks, and, I'm not gonna... Usually I steer away from that sort of stuff, because I kind of have the mentality of, you know, not to toot my own horn, but, you know, I'm good enough, I don't need to buy a bunch of E-tanks. Because they make things so much easier, and I don't know if I want it to be easier. I've actually seen a few kids, boasting about, oh, Mega Man 11 is so easy, and I just want to be like, how much shit did you buy? Or did you actually, challenge yourself? Because, yeah, if you just buy a ton of E-tanks and stuff, it probably is kind of easy. That missed? Are you kidding me? Fine, screw him. That's possible, Logan. I mean, I'm already noticing, so there's less items, because normally there's some health drops here, and they're not there. So that's one of the differences, is they've taken, there's usually bolts up there, and they're gone. Apparently, somehow I hit him, I'm not sure how, but alright. Enemy placement seems the same, it doesn't seem like they've added new enemies or anything, and that's what they usually do in other games. Because Mega Man 10 had a hard mode, and I think they just added more enemies all over the place. Mega Man Powered Up had a hard mode, and they just added more enemies everywhere. I can't remember if 9 did or not. I don't think it did. Yeah, see, there's usually health behind this guy. Usually a bolt or something up here. It's close. That's risky, I shouldn't have done that. That guy is like not in a good position. Whoops, missed a bolt. Oh well. Let him fall off. This is where damageless ends. This guy will hit me. Yep. Yeah, it's a pretty big amount of damage. There's usually a life here, like that thing usually has a life. Now it doesn't. That thing did a lot of damage too, so yeah, like, I think I have less health. Are you serious? Oh, I hate these things. There's usually an E-tank up there, that's gone. I think, did they take out all of the, like, static drops? I think they might have. At first I thought it was just some of them, but now I'm thinking it's all of them. Yeah, that's what I mean. I think they took all of those out. Well, I'm not going to be able to defeat this guy on this amount of health. And I don't have any E-tanks or anything. Man, I already have 760 bolts, though. That's a lot for the first stage.
Solid job getting here. You're just another brick in the wall.
Let's do this. Why not? Of course, that gives you... You're at such a disadvantage after that wears off. They might have boosted bolts. Maybe. Either that or I'm just getting lucky. Sometimes that happens. Whoops. This is what I wanted. I found out this is a thing you can do. I missed though, so sucks. Whoops. Meant to slide there. So this is like, if you guys remember when I was doing challenge mode, there was like a super boss rush, and they had slightly different attack patterns, so those are definitely ripped from superhero mode here. Because this is what I had to deal with him. Which does make him substantially harder. Oh my god. I keep trying to, like, outrun it, and that's just not working. I also keep walking into damage. Oh my god, he's much faster. Oh, there's way more blocks in that. Okay. So the stages aren't much different, but the bosses are like much different, and that's like... that might cause some problems.
Ah, Mega Man! I've made a breakthrough! I can now create new...
Yo, Mega! Can I interest you in some parts?
You can already create new items for me? I find that a little alarming.
Okay, Mega, what'll it be?
Well, I think I'm gonna want like 2 tanks
Can I interest you in
to
some
get
parts?
through that. I think I want Buster Plus.
Sure this is what you want, buddy? And there you have it! Part complete!
I'm gonna want the energy balancer like really early too, but I don't need it right now because I don't have any weapons, so...
Good luck out. Are you sure? Ta-da! All ready. Good. Are you sure? Ta-da! All ready.
Yeah, let's take 3 of those.
Mega.
I don't think I'm gonna need an extra life. I guess I could take a super guard. But I feel like that's kind of unnecessary.
Okay, Mega. What'll
On the other hand, if I do that, I probably won't have to use as many tanks.
Are you sure? Ta-da! All ready. Good luck out there.
Let's
Mega.
try it. Why not, right? So it's a good thing I didn't, like, really dig into that, like, super boss rush thing they had, because some of these bosses I'm gonna be going in blind on. Because I only tried, like, 2 or 3 of those bosses. And I think some of them were just, like, a lot faster. It could have been, but then that's also... It feels like that's the biggest difference in superhero mode, is that the bosses have new patterns. So, I feel like I might have, like... It might have taken a lot of the fun out of it, because it wouldn't have been as blind, you know? And even then, that would have only helped me on the bosses, on the 8 masters, and not the fortress bosses. Like, I don't even want to think about what the Yellow Devil's gonna be like here. Something that's warping my mind a little bit is I'm pretty sure there's a secret achievement in, like, every single stage, and I can't even imagine what some of them would be. I accidentally found Blastmans, and, like, I can't even think of what the other ones might require me to do. That was kind of dumb. Worked out, though. My god, what am I doing? No, and I don't want to hear about it, if it leaked. Mostly because I don't believe leaks, but also because I don't want it spoiled. Also, Logan, I think you're onto something, because I don't think health drops anymore. I think the only thing that drops now are bolts. I just noticed that. I haven't seen any weapon energy either, so I think they replaced them all with bolts. That's interesting. Hey Charles, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Alright, well, I'm clearly not gonna do this with one hit point.
Never thought you'd make it this far. You're a few bricks short of a load.
It's like, it's really hard to dodge between those things too. Like,
a ton of bricks!
Like, not only is it tough to dodge between them, but then you have to worry about him running directly at you right afterwards. Damn it. Stop switching up your pattern, dick. Oh my god. He's just running rampant. Yeah, this is either going to be about perfection or wise item usage. Oh, I forgot that he switches. Oh my god, I meant to jump there and messed it up. Alright, so I wasn't going to do a pixel reward for every stage I defeat, because I felt like it would have been not that much of an achievement, but I feel like some of these bosses are going to be pretty hard to beat, so I might play it by ear. I have a feeling some of them with their weakness weapons are still going to be really easy. So if I blow through a boss and feel like it's no different, then I probably won't do pixels for it. I don't know. Not sure what I'm going to do there.
Welcome back, Mega Man. If you have any...
Okay, Mega. What'll it be?
Yo, Mega! Can I interest you in some parts?
So the energy balancer is pointless if weapon energy never drops. Well, this is going to be important. Let's get this.
And there you have it!
This might be important. Eventually.
Sure this is what you want, buddy?
I'm not going to need that for a while. Let's not do
Okay,
that yet.
Mega. What'll it be?
Yo, Mega!
Okay, Mega. What'll it be? Are you sure?
Let's grab another tank.
Ta-da! All ready. Good luck out there, Mega. Are you sure?
Grab a couple extra lives.
All ready. Good. Are you sure? Ta-da! All ready. Good luck out there, Mega.
But I will do... I'm not gonna do 100 pixels per stage. I'll do 50 per stage. That splits the difference. Then I don't have to think about, like, was that boss too easy for pixels? That makes sense. I'm liking that. Oops. Oh my god. Those things. In, like, every game. I hate those things. That was maybe not super wise, because now I'm low on weapon energy for the boss, but... Yeah, I don't know. It's different, but I think the fact that bolts drop so frequently is gonna, like, make it... Maybe that's what makes it not too punishing. I guess if bolts weren't dropping a lot, then it would actually probably be borderline impossible. Hey Volp, how's it going? Volpe? I'm not sure which it's supposed to be actually. Let me know. I really hate these bastards. Oh, this boss is gonna destroy me. I forgot about this jerk. Yep, I'm practically already dead. Whoops. Did I grab another super guard? No. God damn it. I feel like that's gonna be necessary for getting through this boss, actually. I'm really bad at this boss. See, and the reason I think increased bolt drop chance, like, maybe trivializes it, is the fact that every time you die, it's basically a chance to get more bolts. So... I'm just gonna kind of, like, consistently just be getting more and more currency to buy things to make it easier. Whoa, jeez. I didn't drop enough bolts to go back for. Like, yeah, this is... you get a lot of bolts here. Like, basically everything drops bolts. It's kind of crazy. Hey Scarlet, how's it going? This is not looking good. Oh, I hate this boss. Even on normal mode, even on casual mode, I hated this guy. But honestly, casual mode wasn't much different. It was just you have more lives and there's a checkpoint on basically every screen now. They didn't do that like what Mega Man 10 did, where they like fill in gaps and remove spikes to make the actual stage layouts easier. Which was kind of nice, I thought. Gives you a better learning experience, I think. Damn it. And it's similar to the good design of Celeste, where, yeah, when you have a checkpoint on every screen, if one section's giving you trouble, you only have to work on that section. It's not like in normal and superhero, like I have to get back to this boss to then continue practicing him. Like, and then there's a chance I might not even make it back. So it's not quite as good. Overall, I think this game is, like, really approachable for beginners, and I think that's, like, one of the best things they did here. I'm gonna tank, because I want to get the fuck through this. That was dumb. Well, rip those bolts. Newcomer, advanced, original spec, and expert. I mean, original spec makes sense. That's basically what normal is this is what the old games were like. I think that's pretty accurate. Advanced is a weird term, though. Damn it. And how has your experience been with this game, Scarlet? Because I believe you're the only one here that's also picked the game up. Well, that was shitty. That was my own fault. I mean, like I was just saying, I think casual is, like, it's a good learning experience with the way they have it set up, because, like, you're still getting the stages, like, the way they are. It's just, like, they didn't make, like, in Mega Man 10, the easy, and I think in Powered Up, easy mode was, like, they put all these, like, blocks in to, like, fill in gaps and cover up spikes and stuff, and it kind of, like, just makes it kind of dumb, in my opinion. Here, you're getting the full experience. It's just, it's easier to, like, it's not as punishing when you die, is basically the difference. Now, on Newcomer, I feel like that mode, like, really holds your hand, but Cause doesn't, I think Newcomer gives you like infinite beat calls and shit. Like, it gives you, I think it might make it a little too easy. Cause then it completely removes the risk of failure. Man, that jump is like way more intimidating than it actually is. Alright, I'm gonna have to use these tanks to get through this, because I only have one life and one shot at this. And this stage is kinda meh, so I would rather not have to do it twice. That was a good stupid start. That was also a good stupid start. That's fine. Jesus Christ, he does a lot of damage. And I think what I don't like is, like, alright, it's interesting, I guess, that they just drown you in bolts and you just kind of like power through stuff with items and power-ups. But like on the other hand, a lot of this stuff feels undodgeable. Like, he was shooting so rapidly, how could you possibly get through that battle with like without taking damage? Like, you could probably do it, but it would be insanely hard. God, I have so many bolts. It's crazy.
Welcome back, Mega Man.
Crazy.
Can I interest you in some parts?
So let's go ahead and get
Sure this is
these.
what you want, buddy? And there you have it. Part complete. Sure this is what you want, buddy? And there you have it.
Yeah, that's true. I don't really use the speed gear like at all, so
Okay, Mega. What'll
I
it
might be
be?
making
Are
it
you
harder than I need to.
Ta-da! All ready. Are you sure? Ta-da! All ready. Good luck out there, Mega. Are you sure? Ta-da! All ready. Good luck out there, Mega. Are you sure?
So I might as well just like stock up. Like, I have the money. Well, I'm gonna need lives too here.
Ta-da! All ready. Good luck out there.
It might
Mega.
burn out quicker, yeah, that
you
wouldn't
sure?
surprise me. That would make sense, actually.
All ready.
Honestly, I feel like superhero, you shouldn't be allowed to use it at all. It should just not be a thing you can
Good luck
use.
out there, Mega.
So weapon tanks are actually going to be really important in this, since even weapon energy doesn't drop, so I should probably be picking up a few of these on occasion.
Ta-da! All ready. Good luck out there.
Let's go ahead and
Mega.
get the Mega Tank in advance too, why not?
All ready. Good.
Like, I'm so drowning in bolts that... This is gonna suck. Let me do... Pixels for Acid Man. This one's gonna suck because... One, I really don't like this fight. And two... Acid Man's weapon isn't very good against him. Like, that's his weakness, but, like, it doesn't really make the fight easier. Like, if anything, it makes the fight harder, because you have to not get hit. I want to say, too, that this game's soundtrack really grew on me after a while. Like, I really didn't care for it at first, but, like... I guess the problem is like, most Mega Man music is kind of, like, instantly amazing. Like, you hear it and you're like, wow, this is great. This one is not that case. You kind of have to listen to it a few times over before you start to really appreciate it. You know what? Screw you. Not even doing this. Yeah, I think it would have been interesting if there was a no gear mode. And hey, View, yeah, mine does that quite a lot. Sometimes I'll get the notification on my phone, but then when I open YouTube in a browser, like, it doesn't show the channel as being live. I have to, like, manually navigate to it. YouTube needs to get their shit together. And yeah, right? Impact's Acid does not really make Impact Man any easier. Like, it's kind of like a linear change. I wouldn't say it makes it harder or easier. You still have to, like, still getting hit, like, sets you way back. Hey Spaghetti, how's it going? And I don't know, the timing on those gear guys is like really deceptive. Sometimes it's really easy, and then other times it's like I just completely miss. So for those of you just tuning in, this is superhero mode. The differences so far that I've noticed are everything has slightly more health, but it's like it's not a big difference. Some enemies that you used to be able to kill in one like little shot now take two and stuff like that. Like it's kind of not that big of a difference. Mostly because like Buster shots still do, or the charge shots still do around the same damage. Mega Man takes more damage. A lot of the bosses have, like, drastically altered patterns. I think the big difference is that the only thing that drops from enemies are bolts. There's no health drops and there's no weapon drops at all. So you have to, like, really manage everything. Even, like, static drops, like, when there's a spot in the stage that there's, like, always a bolt sitting in this spot, it's completely gone. Like, all of that stuff is no longer there. Shouldn't have taken a hit there, but whatever. Fuck that boss. And now the hellscape. I mean, I only had 1 hit point. Like, what was I gonna do? And yes, Scarlet, I'm sure View's gonna be streaming a lot, maybe not a lot of this video, but every now and then, so make sure to check out his channel if you haven't already. I think, yes, Evan dropped a link for that. And yeah, superhero mode's the highest difficulty. I don't know, Logan. In low rank in Generations, mounting is incredibly easy, and then it just gets, like, progressively harder. Like, like, in low rank, you can mount a monster in, like, 2 hits. It's kind of ridiculous. Well, just, you know, fuck me. But then in G rank, it takes forever to get a mount off. So... get. Oh my god. He respawned, you little bastard. So that means he's gonna respawn too. Yeah, see, there used to be drops all along the bottom of this stage, and they're all gone now. Damn it. I hate how these, like, homing missile shots can sometimes, like, thread the needle between your rapid fire. It's annoying. I'm not feeling good about this section. I'm probably gonna die here. Knockback is kinda weird in this game at times. Because sometimes it seems like the game is programmed so that if you get knocked back, you won't get knocked back off of a ledge. But then other times it totally happens. It's kinda hit or miss. But then there's that power-up that decreases how much knockback you take, so... Yeah, some of those knockbacks in Bloodstained were kind of ridiculous. Yeah, that last section, as long as you get through it on the first try, it's not that big of a deal. But if you fall at any point, like, it all goes to hell. It turns into an RNG nightmare if you fall even once. Alright, well, I have a life, so I can just, like, toss that one away to get health back. Oh! That makes sense. So the secret achievement on the Impact Man stage, I'm guessing, was to never get hit by his arms throughout the entire stage. Because I don't think I ever got hit by him here, did I? I think I actually, like, got through there smoothly. Cool. Found another hidden achievement. Should have used this before I came in here. Now I gotta use this goddamn thing again. Oh my god, he's much faster. And he does it more times. Jesus. I like the Nursilla armor. The G-rank Nursilla armor in Generations looks kinda dumb. It has shoulder pads that are like as big as your torso. AKA World of Warcraft shoulder pads. Pixels, pixels, pixels. You guys are gonna be rich tonight, I think.
Welcome back, Mega Man.
Do I need anything? I need some more lives. I don't think I'm gonna need them on this upcoming stage, but grab them anyway. And yeah, 10 likes calls for more pixels. Yeah. Yeah, the not quite X dash. Let's grab another one of these. I feel like I should take a super guard into like every single boss, honestly. And they're cheap, so why not? Alright, most of these other power-ups I'm not super interested in. Some of the later ones I might be interested in, but I have to unlock them first.
Okay, Mega, what'll it be?
I have to get my new armor finished tonight for Monster Hunter, actually, so that it's ready for tomorrow. I think I only need one more Uragan kill. Maybe two. Yeah, see, those little yellow things are a good example. They ordinarily take only one shot to kill, but here they take at least two. But, like, if you're using charge shots all the time, you really don't notice a difference, honestly. I think it's, like, 10% more health or something ridiculous like that. It's a very small amount. And did you finish Bloodstained last night, View? I had to leave, like, near the end, I think. You were fighting that, like, big vampire lady, like, on top of the tower when I left. I don't think that's the final boss, but I think the one time I watched somebody play it, they were on a higher difficulty, so there might have been more stuff. Hey Paul, how's it going? And is that true? Tell me more. I mean, I was there for most of the stream, so... Whoops. Frog hype. Yeah, don't you love that? I was, like, mildly frustrated with that turns group last night, because, like, okay, it's turns. Like, I'm willing to kind of put up with a lot of stuff in interest of, like, actually getting my turn, but there are also hyper turns groups, so why did they keep picking hypers? Like, it felt kind of like... I wanted to be like, go find a hyper room. Like, well, why are we doing hypers here? And that hyper Kezu like beat the shit out of us. We failed that twice. And then after the second fail, I was like, I can't do that again. It was getting late at that point. I'm just glad that I wasn't the one that was dying, I guess. Like, sometimes it's actually not that frustrating to watch other people die, because I'm like, at least it wasn't me. Yeah, that's the other thing that sucked. That's why I wasn't willing to stick around to finish that Kezu, because we tried Hyper Kezu twice, failed both times. I don't know if they wanted to try it again. I think they were going to try it a third time, and I was like, okay, that's cool that they're optimistic. That's cool that they're not all leaving. But I knew that the next person in line wanted to do Kirin, and I was like, I can't. Like, I can't do another Kezu and a Kirin just to get to my turn. Like, I can't do it. Like, that's going too far. Damn it. And yeah, Paul, like, a lot of games are designed like that, actually. That's what I call the developer playing the player. Like, sometimes you're not playing the game, right? The game's playing you. And sometimes that can be a really interesting form of game design. But sometimes it's just troll. Sometimes it's just trolly. Whoops. I think this might be the only theme that I'm still not super in love with. It's fine, it's just... And I think it's supposed to be very not Mega Man, but it's... I don't know. I don't love it. That boss is still amazing, though. And yeah, sometimes game design feels like really unfair when they do that, because it's... A lot of platformers especially, they'll set up traps in a way where it's like... They knew that you were going to react in a certain way to a certain obstacle, so they intentionally put another obstacle right after it, so that you walk right into it, because they know that you are going to. And it's like, yeah, sometimes that doesn't feel super fair, because there's not a lot you can do about it sometimes. You just have to, like, let it happen and then learn from dying. I know a lot of people didn't like Donkey Kong Country Returns and Tropical Freeze because of that, because sometimes they do it. I don't remember what part of it when I was watching View playing Bloodstained this morning, because, like, I wasn't, like, totally watching, because that's when I was playing Monster Hunter. I was just listening, but, like, I know he reached a point where he was like, alright guys, joke's over. And it's like, yeah, sometimes it gets to that point where you're like, man, just stop, let me play the game. Enough with this bullshit. I should probably take a death here. Because I'm probably not going to be able to do this with this amount of health.
Let's get cooking.
Yeah, especially if that happens. But I've already hit him like 3 times, so screw it. I love the boss deaths in this game. Like, they're really dramatic without being too dramatic. I really like how they handled them. Yeah, I think the best platformers are the ones that are like... Or the best games are the ones where there's like a clear tell that death is coming, and you have time to react to it. Sometimes you have a very small window to react to it, but you still have a warning.
It was so very long ago.
And I think that can be a lot of fun when you're playing a game like that, because, like, yeah, a lot of people like complained about Donkey Kong Country Returns and Tropical Freeze because it had those moments of where they kind of like set you up to die, but it was also like, if you get into that rhythm where you kind of like trust the game and just kind of let it take you through the stage, then like you don't die because you kind of just feel where it is you're supposed to go, and I think that's like a very satisfying level design when you're just kind of like along for the ride.
It's so good to see you safe.
Okay,
Let's see.
Mega.
Let's
Are
grab
you sure?
another tank or two.
Ta-da!
Alright, Spaghetti, thanks for stopping
Are
in.
you sure? Ta-da! Already. Good luck out there, Mega.
I forgot that I grabbed the super guard. Probably
Yo, Mega.
never gonna use use those
Name's
things.
Skew.
Save that again quick. I didn't do one of these for Bounce Man. Now see, learning by dying, I think, is like, it can be not bad. Celeste does it well, because when you die in Celeste, you're immediately back. Like, you don't have to replay half the stage, you're just back and you can try it again. And that makes it, like, really tolerable. Now, part of the problem I have with Dark Souls is you learn by dying, and then you're majorly set back. Like, you're sent really far back, you have to go get your souls back, if it's so that you don't lose them. If you die again, you lose them forever. Like, it's way more punishing. But, like, a game like Celeste is just, like... Yeah, if you have to die to learn, you're immediately back, you've already learned, and you're trying it again. And I think that's, like... I think that's really good design. Like, even if it's an unfair death, at least you're like... Well, okay, I can immediately try it again. I don't have to go through 10 minutes of the stage to try it again. See, these take slightly more damage. What I really like about Mega Man, and I'll try to point it out if I see it, is their way of, like... They'll introduce a mechanic to you, and then they'll, like, introduce another mechanic to you, and then they'll introduce them to... They'll make you do both at once. And, like, I like the way they work you into it like that. Like, they say, here's a thing in a controlled environment. Okay, now here, do it when, like, your life is on the line. Okay, now here, do it while also dealing with this other thing. And it, like, I like how they have, like, the progression like that. I mean, I guess these things are a pretty good example, because in that previous area, there was only one of these things, and that taught me, like, how they worked. Although something I thought that was kind of unclear about this stage is that these things only fire the lightning off when they're passing over, like, those heated coils. I didn't really figure that out until, like, much later in the game. Like, I felt like that wasn't as obvious as it could have been. No, Paul, I've had those moments where it's, like, I swear I pushed in that direction, or I pressed jump, or... Honestly, it's probably a problem with newer TVs and input lag. And it's just usually not a problem, but every now and then it does happen. I think, anyway. I don't think those are always entirely... I mean, like... It's tough, because some gamers you will see, they'll make that excuse of, like, oh, I pressed the button, and you kind of get the feeling that they're just making an excuse, and, like, they didn't actually press it, they were just messing up. But I do think it's a thing that, like, naturally happens, too. That's the frustrating thing about, like, real, like, execution challenges, is that, yeah, sometimes that happens, and then, like, you're like, well, did I mess that up, or did it drop a button input? Like, whose fault is that? In Bloodstained View or in Mega Man 11? There's definitely an error in Mega Man 11 where jumps don't come out. I haven't figured out exactly what the cause is. It seems to be when you're pivoting. Like, if you're running to the right and suddenly turn to the left and try to jump, sometimes the jump never happens. And it's really hard to duplicate, unfortunately. Because every time I try it, it works. I think it's when, like, if you try to jump during his little turnaround animation, sometimes it doesn't come out. I've definitely noticed it, but I haven't been able to figure out exactly what's causing it. And it's not, like, consistent enough to be a serious problem. Damn it. That was stupid. This theme is definitely an honorable mention for this game. This is a really cool theme. And hey Tara, how's it going? I'm still HR 12. We'll probably finish G4 this week. I don't think we'll have any trouble doing that. I'm so close to death, I'm just gonna let him end it.
I recognize that
Yeah, right there it happened. Right there it happened. Like, I was kind of, like, trying to die anyway, so it's not a big deal. But, like, I was running to the left, I turned to the right and tried to jump over that, the spark, and he never jumped. Like, it just didn't come out. Is it when I was charging? Like, of course it never duplicates. That's the weird thing. But yeah, it's definitely a thing. I've seen it multiple times in this game. Yeah, Elder Dragons are kind of a pain in the ass with randos. This weapon makes this fight really funny. Like, I feel like that's one I shouldn't give pixels for, because that was just as easy as it was on all the other difficulties. You just let those things rip and bounce around and just completely mess them up. But, no, that's why I said I'll do 50 per boss. Kind of balance it out. Instead of doing 100 for, like, only some of the bosses, we'll just do 50 for all of them. Alright, so I need some lives. I should get those ice boots.
It's so good to see you safe.
Okay, Mega.
Oh, I did get those already, never mind.
Can I interest you in some
Good.
parts?
Okay, Mega. What'll it be?
So, I'm rich. Let's try something out.
And there you have it.
Okay, Mega.
How good is Eddie? How good is Eddie in this
Good
game?
luck out there, Mega. Are you sure? Ta-da! All ready. Are you sure? Ta-da!
Since power-ups can't drop, you'd think he'd be pretty good, because you can make items drop on demand. It might not necessarily always be an item you need,
Are you
but
sure?
let's try it.
Ta-da! All ready. Are you sure? Ta-da! All ready.
And now, if you believe that kid this morning, last night, this is the hardest stage in the game. Can you tell I don't buy that at fucking all? Now watch me mess it up a lot. Whoops, that was dumb. Dude, you have no idea. I almost let him trigger me when he started saying, oh, I did Torchman in one try. And I wanted to be like, no, you fucking didn't. I don't care how good you are, there's no way anybody did Torchman on the first try. There's absolutely no way that happens. Unless he means he didn't game over, but when I hear first try, I think didn't die. And there's absolutely no way that anyone was able to do that stage without dying on their first try. No. And then turned around and died 14 times on Tundra Man's stage? There's no way. That doesn't make any sense. Whoops. Whoops. You can tell I already kind of have this stage down to like a semi-speedrun route. Because I was farming this stage for bolts for so long. Whoops. I really like this stage's music too. That was kind of close. In fact, I kind of want to go over to challenge mode and try and do this on time trial and get gold. I think I just have to find a weapon that kills that mini boss really fast, because that takes a while. Damn it. I'm gonna die here. Maybe not, because it seems like if you don't get close enough to him, he doesn't actually shoot you. Usually he always gets at least one hit on me, so I was prepared to die there. The baffling thing to me is I can't even figure out where somebody would have trouble on this stage. There really isn't anything in this stage that's, like, really hard. This is, like, extremely forgiving for an ice stage. Damn it. No, it's okay, Taro. I don't really mind that stuff too much as long as it's not, like, all day, every day, and you see people talking about Pokemon and you're just talking, and you just talk about something else instead as if they're not having a conversation. That's really the only time it bothers me. Or if it's a game that I just, like, don't play at all, then I'd probably be like, okay, what's going on here? But yeah, we're playing Monster Hunter tomorrow, so, like, it's not a big deal. God damn it, I hate this part. Sometimes this part goes... That's, like, one of the only parts I have problems with. Sometimes it goes really smoothly, and sometimes it doesn't. Hey, Trust, how's it going? Yeah, tomorrow's Tuesday, right? Today's Monday? Yeah, we'll be back to 2 nights for Monster Hunter this week. It'll be Tuesday and Wednesday. It was only 1 day last week because Mega Man came out on Tuesday, and I was like, well, I want to play that shit, so... The only thing holding us back from finishing G4 is the fact that, like, we need new armor. So hopefully we can get that done in advance. Or at the very least only have to farm, like, 1 or 2 monsters. See, even this part's so easy. Like, oh man, I don't know. I hear somebody say they have trouble with a stage like this, and then say that they did Torchman in 1 try, and I'm like, no, that doesn't make any sense at all.
Now, start the music. I'm like a rose, frozen in ice.
Whoa, that was a bad start. Oh my god. Whoops. I didn't think that was gonna kill me. I think I thought I had enough lenience there that I wasn't gonna die. It sucked. Yeah, Taro, I have the talons. I didn't buy another set of charms, though. I probably should. Is it really that much of an increase?
Feel freeze.
He's a little bit faster, and that's giving me a little bit of trouble.
Freeze right there. Cold, colder, gorgeous, and shatter. Elegant. Shatter, shatter.
Yeah, like, I get the different players, different play styles kind of thing, because not to sound like I'm calling him out, but View had a lot of trouble with Blockman stage. I had very little trouble with Blockman stage. People do have, like, different things they're better at, but really, Tundra Man stage is just, like, really easy. Like, I can't even imagine what somebody would have had a hard time with on that stage. There's really nothing in that stage where I'm like, oh man, that part. Like, that part is hard. Alright, I'm gonna need lives for Torchman. A lot of lives. And probably more weapon tanks in case I wind up using Tundra Man's weapon on
Okay, Mega. What'll it be?
Yo, Mega. Can I
the
interest you
fire.
in some parts?
Okay, Mega. Are you sure? Ta-da! All ready. Good luck out there, Mega. Are you sure?
Yeah, and that's the thing. He wasn't saying, like, oh man, it was this certain part of the stage that was giving him trouble. He was just turning around and insisting that he did Torchman and Gear Fortress 1 in one try. And I was like, that's unbelievable. Like, it is.
Sure?
That's like saying you beat Mario Sunshine without ever dying, but Mario Odyssey was hard for you. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, that's ridiculous. You know what? I'm just gonna go up to 9. We're not gonna take any chances here.
Good luck out. Are you sure? Ta-da! All ready. Are you sure? Ta-da! All looks like you can't carry any more of these.
I imagine he was buying the hell out of all sorts of items, and that was making things a lot easier. That still doesn't explain how he would have been able to get through Torchman stage that easily, but I guess it explains why Tundra would have given him trouble, because if anything's going to give you trouble in Tundra Man stage, it's spikes and pits, and those are instant deaths, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it, except for the fact that there are things you can do about it, so that's I can't even comprehend, and I don't feel like grilling them to find out, because you can tell they were full of it, to be honest. So, like, do I care that much? Not really. I'm sure it sounds like I care that much, because I keep bringing it up, but ultimately I was just laughing at him. Oh, I didn't do pixels for Tundra Man. Did I even do pixels for Fuse Man? I don't know if I did. Actually, no, I'm pretty sure I did, because I remember saying this is why I'm not doing 100 pixels. No, I agree. I was just saying that, like, it didn't mean that much to me, I guess. The only thing I grilled him on is he very specifically said that he game overed twice in Tundra Man's stage off of 5 lives. Very specifically 5 lives. And I was like, so you were playing on casual mode? And he was like, no, you can buy lives. And I was like, why would you specifically buy 5 lives and not 9 lives, then? Like, that was the only thing I really grilled him on, because it was such a gap in logic. Like, it didn't make sense. As soon as somebody says they do Torchman in one try, it's fishy. Yeah. Nothing else is really... like, that's just unbelievable. Whoops. That'll do. Whatever. I do have most of this stage down to a science, at least, from having to redo it so many friggin' times. Sparky the barbecue turkey hype. Meh. No quick kill. Ow. There we go. Yeah, that's the thing, Taro. Every single person I've talked to that's played Mega Man 11 has agreed that Torchman's stage is complete bullshit. Even people who have been playing Mega Man as long as I have, even speedrunners who are way better than I am, are like, Torchman's stage was bullshit. So I don't believe that somebody, especially somebody younger, was able to defeat it that easily. Like, it doesn't... that's unbelievable. Crap. I'm glad I took that. I probably would have died there if I didn't use the speed gear. I didn't want to do that. It's fine. I am tempted to use a tank here because I don't want to have to, like, go all the way back to the halfway point of this stage. Even though, chances are if I get hit here, I'm gonna die, like, immediately. Yeah, I haven't messed with transmog yet, but it's like... I don't think it's too hard to figure out. Yeah, I'm gonna play it safe. Because I'd rather not have to redo this entire part, if I can. Shit. Oh god. I'm not sure why Rush didn't come out there. I pressed it. Oh, because I'm out of energy! That would do it. Okay. Well, now I know. Hardman stage is actually not that hard. It's kind of funny. That's what I figured it was, Taro, yeah. Oh, god damn it. Are you kidding me? Did that really just happen? Ooh, that's a lot of bolts. Seriously, even these things don't die in one hit. That's idiotic. That is 100% stupid. I really don't want to do this again, but... Oh, this is bad. Oh god. Good thing is this boss should be really easy. Should be. In before I eat my words on that.
Let the combat commence. More training.
That went a lot smoother than I expected it to. Alright, and blast should be no problem. I didn't even use that many supplies, so I can just kinda... won't worry about restocking just yet. This is a good example of what I was talking about. So, like, this area is here just to teach you that those blocks explode when they get hit by fire. Like, that's relatively low danger. You're probably not gonna take... like, you're not gonna die here, that's for sure. And this area is here to teach you that when you shoot these guys, they explode when they hit something. And therefore can blow up those blocks. This teaches you that those lasers make the blocks explode. And then they start combining things. So hey now, like, oh, well, if I let him blow those up, it'll kill the Joe. Okay, I know these are going to explode. Oh, but look, I can't fit through here, so I'm going to have to slide. This teaches you that that happens when it explodes underneath the bus, which is going to come into play here. Clearly, you don't want to stand on top of it, or you're going to hit those spikes. Like, the whole stage teaches you what everything is going to do. Like, it's very well designed. Oops. I wanted him alive. Well, I guess I didn't want to have to go that way, because there's not a weapon tank up there. What's the point? Which is embarrassing that this boss was as hard as it was for me the first time I played, because I didn't realize you could just shoot these guys into the cars and make them blow up and do damage. Should have, because the entire stage taught me I could do that. I just wasn't paying attention. This is still an annoying boss, though, I'll be honest. Not a big fan. cool. I had the damage spread out so that they died with it. Because it really gets ugly once there's only one left. I almost thought I jumped too early there and I wasn't gonna make it. Whoops. I'm still not entirely sure of what I'm supposed to do in this area. I'm just gonna do this. That'll do. Whoops. That was dumb. Sometimes I, like, forget that those tanks, like, do damage. Because for some reason, when the tank is just sitting there, it doesn't have an active hitbox. You can walk right through it and not take any damage. But then as soon as it takes off, it's capable of dealing damage. I did it again, jeez. Oh my god. I don't think I even know what Ultimus crystals are from. Oh my god. I'm being pretty shameless about tank use, but like, I don't want to have to redo the whole stage all over again. Oh, I knew you meant Monster Hunter, I just didn't know, like, if it was a drop from ore or what. I assumed ore, but... What hit me? I'm legitimately confused by what I got hit by.
I've got a pretty short fuse. What's wrong? Don't be a dud.
Ah, shit. I just wasted, like, a ton of ammo. Yeah, I'm out of weapon energy. And he still has a lot of health. That's why I've been picking up weapon tanks. I don't want to die and have to do this all over again, because I'm going to have to use another weapon tank. So Blastman is a pyrotechnician, and he was working on a roller coaster at the time Wily grabbed him. So that's why he was here. He was creating the special effects for the ride. Okay, I don't think I need more lives. I'm going to need a lot more tanks.
Okay, Meg.
And honestly,
Stand on the threshold of the
I'm gonna take some beat calls too.
Ta-da! All ready. Are you sure? Ta-da! All ready. Are you sure? Ta-da! All ready. Are you sure?
I think I'm gonna go ahead and grab 9 tanks.
Are you sure? Ta-da! All ready. Good luck out there, Meg. Are you sure? Ta-da! All ready. Are you sure? Ta-da! All ready. Good. Are you sure? Ta-da!
Well, they were all kind of in the wrong place at the wrong time, you know?
Are you sure?
I don't think he didn't actively go out and look for, like, the best
Good luck out there,
8 masters available. He was just like, oh look, there's 8 masters, let's take them.
Ta-da! All ready. Are you sure?
I've made this joke in other streams, but like, Wily's actually not very smart. Like, he makes a lot of very questionable decisions.
Out there, Mega. Are you sure? Ta-da! All ready. Good luck out
Going,
there, Mega.
looking all the way back to Mega Man 1, like, why did, like, his very first mistake was the fact that he was like, I don't need Mega Man. Like, of course he wasn't Mega Man yet, but still, like, why take any chances? Just take them all. Even here, why did he grab just those 8? He didn't grab Mega Man, who was standing right there and unarmored at the time. Like, that would have been the smart thing to do, but... Sure, that's good. Alright. Onward. I just appreciate the fact that this game didn't do what Mega Man 9 and Mega Man 10 did, where they pulled that bullshit where Wily was like, oh, it's not me, I swear, and Mega Man was like, okay, I believe you, and then he was just kind of like, JK, LOL, and then he's like, oh man, Wily, it was you the whole time? I should have known. Yeah, you should have known. At least from the word go in this game, they're like, okay, Wily's behind this. It's like, thank you. Thank you for respecting me as a player and not expecting me to buy that horrible excuse for a plot. This is another good example of game design. Like, they give you these things right here so that you know, okay, not only is there one that can turn this way, but there's one that can turn the other way too. And you're at no risk of death, you're learning exactly what that does, and then you move on to the stage. I'm already taking a hilarious amount of damage. I don't remember how they introduced the gears that fall, though, and like how well that's done. We'll see. Whoops. No, okay. This isn't the best because you could definitely die here. But I think the fact that it's not turning and the fact that it's red and flashing is enough of an indicator that, like, something bad is gonna happen. could have sucked. See, again, I think I'm gonna tank through this a lot just to prevent not having to redo the stage multiple times. That, what was I doing? Whatever. They also never really, like, take it this far in this game, but you notice your first introduction to those blocks aren't, like, the disappearing blocks, is they're not over a pit. So you're at no danger when you're being introduced to that mechanic. And most of the games do that. They introduce them to you like that, and then they put them over, like, a pit where you could potentially die. Actually, yeah, X we more. And this moment probably feels really cheap, but honestly, that's like such a classic Mega Man trick. I actually died to that the first time through the stage, and I was like so embarrassed because I was like, I should have seen that spike trap coming. They do that in like every single game. The only thing that's cheap there is that new players probably don't see it coming at all. Then I actually found out there's a very easy way to do this part. I was making this way harder than it needed to be, like, since the beginning. Like, it's that fucking easy. Look at that. In my opinion, that's actually one of the harder areas of the game. And, like, there's an easy route through it. As long as you don't slow down, you're good. You don't have to deal with any of those precariously placed enemies. I'm gonna go ahead and use that. This might be interesting. I'm gonna try and go for quick kill with bombs. I don't think it's gonna work very well, because it usually doesn't. Also, his pattern might be different, so here's hoping it isn't. No, it's the same pattern, it's just faster. I can deal with that. Crap. Oh, he does that twice. Okay, that's new. Alright, this is fine. Until that. That could have gone way worse. I am pleased with that result. Also, I don't think I did pixels for Blast. Let me do that. Taro, you have the worst luck with people in Monster Hunter. Like, I have not dealt with many, like, bad eggs. Nothing near as bad as some of the stuff you're having to deal with.
You stand on the threshold of the...
Okay, Mega, are you sure?
I'm probably not going to need this for the second stage. Maybe. This boss is kind of a pain in the ass. Hey JMT, how's it going? And Dio, I can agree with Isaac. I think a Golden Sun representative would be pretty cool. I don't know if I find it super likely, but that's a character I would be okay with them putting in. Like, that would get a thumbs up from me. I've been talking to a bunch of people lately about how, like, I don't even really like speculating about Smash anymore because so many people have really dumb character ideas, and it's kind of killed it for me. But I think Isaac is a good one, so... This would be a good place for farming if they dropped anything other than bolts. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do that. I actually haven't heard many people bring up Goku in a while. I think that meme kind of died. I'm pretty happy about that. Seriously? Whatever. Right, that doesn't actually kill them. What am I doing? Yeah, see, the thing is what Ultimate has gotten me to realize... I like the fact that Ultimate is, like, a best-of game and it has, like, all of the characters. I like that, but it makes me eager for, like, the true Smash 5 when they cut, like, half of the roster to make room for, like, really, like, new and interesting characters. Because a lot of the characters are like, why is this character... why is it here? Like, this does not need to be a character. Like, like, here's how I look at it. For every character in Smash, you have to look at it and be like, if that character wasn't in the game, would we be asking for them to be in the game? And stuff like Rosalina and Sheik, like, nobody would be asking for characters like that if they weren't already in the game. Bowser Jr., like, nobody would be saying this shit. Like, people would, but for the most part, it would be, like, people would just shrug it off and be like, that's a dumb idea. They definitely need to trim the fat of that roster a little bit, I think. Because, like, honestly, I feel like the games haven't innovated since Brawl, and that's kind of disappointing. So I hope that the next one, like, the next actual installment is, like, they actually try to innovate. That doesn't blow those up? Oh, it takes 2 hits? Because why not, right? I don't think Kamiya owns Beautiful Joe anymore, does he? So I don't think he'd have a say in it. I'm pretty sure Capcom still owns him. Yeah, I would kind of like it if they would kind of focus on, like, their core brands, and, like, dial back on the side characters for sure. Like, you gotta have stuff like Mario and to an extent Luigi and Peach and Bowser. Like, you gotta have stuff like that, and Link and Zelda and Ganondorf. But, like, Zero Suit Samus, that can go. I'd argue that, like, Diddy Kong can go. Like, does he still need to be there? Not really. I mean, I guess that one would be okay, because, like, it couldn't hurt to have another Donkey Kong character in there. Donkey Kong's a pretty big franchise, so not to undervalue that. Realistically speaking, do we need two Earthbound characters in there? No. Like, that's unnecessary. We don't need 3 Links, for example. Like, just dial a lot of that shit back. I should probably start using bombs on those instead of fire. I think fire looks a little bit flashier, and it, like... I don't know, I don't like using bombs, but fire can sometimes be very inconsistent. I don't think he has any say in it. I mean, he left the company. So, I mean, they could ask him and say, like, what do you think? But they don't have to. Let's put it that way. It's similar to Mega Man. They don't have to ask Inafune anything. They could. They could say, how do you feel about this? But they like, Capcom's a shitty company. Don't get me wrong, but they gave up their right to have a say with what happens with those characters when they left. Yeah, they really need to dial it back on the Fire Emblem characters. I kind of want to say they should dial it back on Pokemon a bit too, honestly. Pokemon's one of the biggest franchises in the world, so it kind of makes sense for them to be there. And what am I doing on this section? I am playing like an idiot right now. But I don't know, how many freaking Pokemon characters are there? It's kind of a little overkill. Maybe it's finally time to let Jigglypuff get some rest. And say, like, alright, that's enough of this. I just like the idea of, like, them cutting the roster in a way where nobody is safe, so that absolutely nobody can act like, oh, they gotta have this character, because, like, if they go as far as to cut somebody like Luigi, like, literally nobody's safe. Like, they could do anything, and you have no expectations at that point. I think it would just make it a lot more interesting and refreshing. Oh yeah, I'm not saying take all the Fire Emblem characters out. I think Marth for sure should stay put, but maybe that's about it. What am I doing? I'm starting to get outright mad at myself because I shouldn't be fucking up like this. This stage is fucking easy, honestly. I should not be having problems here. And at this point, I'm having problems because I'm running out of weapon energy, which is idiotic. I'm really not a fan of the fact that, like, now it's starting to hurt that nothing but bolts drop. Because it would be really nice to farm some weapon energy or something right now. Yeah, I don't think there's enough Zelda characters either, but, like, in a perfect world, I think they would dial the roster back to the point where 3 would already be too many. Alright, here's what we're doing. We're using this fucking Mega Tank, and we're using this fucking Super Guard, because I've had about enough of this shit. This should not be giving me as much trouble as it is. And this is all, like, it's not because it's harder, it's because I'm playing stupid, and that's why I'm frustrated. It's not because superhero mode, it's because I'm playing like an idiot. That's the sort of blowing through I should be doing. You know, honestly, I'd probably be okay with them putting somebody from Xenoblade 2 in instead of Shulk. I think Shulk is stupid. Ooh, that was close. Yeah, I think Pokemon has, like, earned the right to be overrepresented. I don't think Fire Emblem has earned that right yet. Like, there's way too many Fire Emblem characters for a franchise that's only been popular for, like, less than a decade. That's the thing, though. You kind of have to throw that logic out, View, in my opinion. Because if, like, I understand what you mean. I'm not saying you're wrong, but when it comes to select, like, hand-picking something for a roster like that, you can't be thinking about, like, who's the most important character. Because otherwise you're going to put a lot of dumb characters in that have no reason to be in. That's why fucking Chrom is in there, because they were like, well, Chrom's important. and he's popular. Was it a good idea to put him in the game? Fuck no. But they did it anyway because they were so busy thinking about whether or not they could, they weren't thinking about whether or not they should. That quote sums up Smash Brothers so much these days, I think. Like, yeah, Lucina and Chrom are more important than Robin, but Robin was ultimately a better idea as a character. I will say, at least, Shulk does have an interesting gameplay mechanic in Smash. It's not like he's a stupid, like, just another shallow sword character. Like, he does have a lot going for him, but... that kinda worked out better than... That actually is kind of my point, though, View. Look at Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Mega Man is not in that game, but Zero is, because they realized it was going to be a better idea for a character. Like, you have to put the gameplay first, is really what I'm going for there. Yeah, they put Zero and Tron in before either Mega Man. Like, it's kind of fucked up if you think about it, but they were putting the gameplay first, and I think sometimes you gotta do that.
Are you sure?
Alright, I definitely want one of these. And yeah, we're on the final stretch. This is, like... the stream's actually not gonna take as long as I expected it to.
Are you sure?
I'm just gonna go ahead and fill up because I'm rich.
Already. Good luck out there, Mega.
Like, there was a lot of characters missing from Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and I think a lot of them were them saying, we have more interesting gameplay ideas than this, we're gonna focus on that over the popular characters. And I think that worked out for the better, because I think Marvel vs. Capcom 3 has a really interesting roster. And yeah, Dio, I agree that is the problem with Fire Emblem. They could be picking characters that don't use swords. Like, again, they could be using characters that would be interesting ideas instead of the characters that are popular. Fire Emblem Warriors fucked this up, too. They only picked the most important characters instead of thinking, who would be interesting to play as? And that's why the roster in Fire Emblem Warriors is complete garbage, because they're all fucking... they're just like the lords from all of the game. They're all sword characters. Like, it's tremendously boring. And half of them are clones. They didn't put the gameplay first. They put the popularity and the importance first, and the game suffered because of it, in my opinion. Well, no, JMT, I was talking about 3, and that was before all of that problem. Infinity was... or Infinite was a completely... the roster in Infinite sucks, but the roster in 3 was actually really interesting, I think. They had a lot of stuff in there that was, like... you wouldn't think to see a character like this in a fighting game. Like, they were thinking very outside the box with that game. You could play as fucking MODOK, for crying out loud. Like, MODOK. MODOK.
Okay, Mega. What'll it be?
I don't think I'm gonna need that many weapon tanks. I think 4 is already overkill there. Let's fill up on lives. Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite had some interesting ideas in it, but, like, I think development was rushed. I think they when they started making that game, I think they were kind of like, we have to get this out by a certain time. We're gonna have to like make some lazy character choices in order to get the game out sooner rather than later. I think that might have been what happened with that game. It's hard for me to say because I haven't looked into it that much, but a lot of the characters in Infinite were just ported for Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and they didn't even port the interesting characters. It was like, they really dropped the ball in like every way on that game, in my opinion. They had some interesting ideas, but the ideas weren't allowed to like breathe. The only thing it did 100% right, I think, is the fact that the fact that Sigma's in it and the fact that Ultron is in it is amazing. Something I would be curious to know is if Marvel outright told them they couldn't use X-Men characters. Is that actually fact? Everybody says it like it's fact, but I've never seen actual evidence of that. I'd be really curious to know if that was actually why they did it. Like, were they not allowed to, or did Marvel say don't do it? Or like, I've only heard speculation. I've never heard outright evidence of that. See, I heard that Infinite, like, gameplay-wise, was actually not bad.
Solid job getting here.
Yeah, Marvel 3 was in development for a very long time.
You can't shoot me down the side.
Wow, I'm out of energy already. Fuck me. It's dumb. There, he did the jumping thing again. I tried to turn and jump, and nothing happened. I haven't heard that it was good from that many players, to be fair, so... Honestly, I wish Fox and Sony would quit fucking around with those rights and just give them back to Marvel. Like, I'm getting sick of that dance. Like, it's just not interesting anymore. They're latching on to those properties like they actually earned them. I didn't realize I was that low on health. Holy shit. Yeah, or at least work together. And no, Logan, I'm not doing pixels for these bosses. I didn't do pixels for the last Fortress stage, though, so I'll do that at least. The thing that baffles me is, like, for how many years the movies that Sony and Fox were putting out were garbage. So I don't understand how they still managed to hold on to the rights. I'm surprised Marvel wasn't like, hey, give us those back if you're not going to actually make good movies with them. Maybe there was something in the contract that said they couldn't do that. I shouldn't have to be using a tank this early, but there it is. Seriously? Damn it. Oh, you bastard. I shouldn't have to be. This is disgusting. This shouldn't be happening. How did I run out of blocks? Did I, like... I got impatient and tried to hit him when I shouldn't have, I guess. Oh my god. Oh my god. Like, this weapon is fucking garbage for fighting him. It, like, actually makes me angry, like, how difficult that weakness is to use. Whoops. I need to get some actual shit done here, because he's pissing me off. Wait, you know, I forgot to use the power guard. I think that's what I'm fucking up here, honestly. I should just start over. Let's just do that. Let's just do that. Let's just load the game. That's what was causing problems. It's because I never used the guard. Completely forgot I even had it. And then I just need to be more careful about when I'm using these items. Or weapons, rather. This does end when I die, so I have to be careful to not die. Okay, let's try that again.
You make it this far. He'll drop you like a ton of bricks. You're not the only boosted part of the block.
I missed? Are you serious? And how am I out of weapon energy that fast? I must have hit him at one point when he was, like, still had invulnerability frames. Ooh, he drops a bunch of shit. Nice. I figured he only dropped one thing. It's good to know. I'm not gonna try to sneak hits in here, because I think that's where things went wrong before. shit fight. This is easily my least favorite fight in the game. Oh my god, you asshole. I hate that fight so much. Mostly, like, it's one of those fights where using the weapon actually makes them harder, I think. I think that's why it's frustrating to me. Maybe if the shield actually protected you from a hit or two, it would be a little bit different. Excuse me? That was weird. I don't need to refill weapons. Alright, that was not as useful, but... That weapon just makes me laugh against him. I'm probably gonna have to use a tank for this one.
Trying to take my spotlight? I'm like a rose, frozen in ice. Don't blink. Heartless, gorgeous, ice. Dog is a cat. Cool. A grand finale.
Yeah, some of them, even on superhero mode, are like really easy. Maybe I just don't have some of the quick kills down yet. Because, like, with Impact, I almost feel like I'm doing something wrong on that fight, you know? Shit. Alright, that could have gone worse, but it could have gone way better, too. Wait for my gear to refill. Ah, you're a dick. I'm out of weapon energy. My god, that thing burns through energy so fast, especially if you miss. How much health does he have? A lot. A lot. Let me use one of these too, because... Alright, I'll split the difference, though, and I'll do 100 pixels for doing all the rematches. Alright, let's restock.
Okay, are you sure?
I'm probably not going to need as many tanks against Wily, but
All ready. Are you sure?
why not, right?
Ta-da! All ready. sure? Ta-da! All ready. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'll take one of those just in case.
Good luck out there, Mega.
I'm not gonna have an opportunity to use those, so...
Stand on the threshold of the final.
Yo, Mega! Can I interest you in some parts?
Okay, Mega.
I've heard a lot of people really despise this stage. Because it's just like waiting. I can kind of get that, I guess. You could technically go a little bit faster through some of these areas. If I would have made it there, actually, I could have completely skipped this ride and just fallen. Whoa, there was a thing back there. I didn't even notice. I almost want to die just to go pick it up. You know, I'm really tempted to do that just in case there's like an achievement for picking it up. I kind of doubt it though. Wow, these are fast on hard mode. Okay. The pinwheel refills everything. Refills your health and all of your weapon energy. It's kind of dumb that it's even there, to be honest, because everything refills at the beginning of every stage, so that's kind of why I'm like, I kind of want to go pick it up and see if I get an achievement for it or something. Or maybe it does something different in this game. Yeah, I didn't use Super Guard yet anyway, so that's fine. Yeah, I want to see if that does anything. I'm surprised I didn't see that when I first fell. That didn't really look to do anything. So I think it does the same thing it's always done. Refills everything. Again, it's kinda dumb on this in this particular instance. I feel like they put it there as an Easter egg, like, more than anything else.
No mercy, Mega Man. In my sights. Can't take the heat. In my sights.
I'm almost thinking bombs might be better for this phase. I don't know though, acid does a ton of damage. It's just kind of tough to hit with. Whoops, that was dumb. Acid does protect you from those bullets though, so yeah, I think that's what you're supposed to do. Something I found interesting is you can't use the power gear acid on this, because if you use the power version of the shield, it melts the missiles when you stand on them. But only the power version does that. Which is, like, just weird. Like, why did they even program that? That's peculiar. This does pretty good damage here, too, if you can manage to keep the shield active. That's the hard part. Damn it. wrong button.
He always wins. I've waited for this. Got it. He always wins.
It still hit him. I'll take it.
No way out. He always wins.
Give up, Wily.
You leave me no choice. Time for Plan B.
I don't think we'll watch the full ending, but we can at least see Plan B.
Spare me. I'm a helpless old man. Mercy, Mega Man.
Enough! You can't fool me that.
Yeah, I do like that they
Drat.
gave him that arrogance, I guess.
Don't act so cocky. I didn't
To say something like Wily always wins, and it's like, you've literally never won. Like, not even kind of. Part of what shows that he's, like, beyond saving, I guess, is because he's, like, borderline delusional. Even when he loses, he somehow, in his mind, believes that he won it. And Eggman's the same way, actually.
Mega Man reporting home.
Right on time, Mega.
At the rate we're...
World's best hope. I have fancy purple star on that file. I'm almost tempted to beat the game on newcomer just to have a file with like that color star on it.
I strongly...
I think I might at some point. That it'll give me an idea too of like, so what does newcomer mode entail? Because I like to be informative and knowledgeable about that sort of stuff, where I can be like, I know what the difference between the modes are, instead of just, oh, that's just that easy shit. I never did that. Like, dodge all Impact Brothers and reach the boss. Cool. Yeah, I still have, like, a bunch of these hidden achievements to do, and, like, I don't even know where to start. Like, most of these are hidden. I have a feeling I'm never going to be able to beat this game in under 60 minutes. I feel like that's not something I'm capable of. No idea what that is. No idea what that is. And then get gold rank 5 times, which I think I could probably pull off. I feel like a lot of the challenge stuff isn't gonna be super interesting to watch. Oh yeah, I'll do another 100 since that was like the end of the game. So... Did I really do Tundra and Bronze? That doesn't sound right. I can do better than that. Oh, that's a good stupid start. It was also a good stupid start. Hey View, welcome back. You missed, like, all the action. Damn it, went too fast. Hardest stage in the game. Alright, I've really got to figure out how to beat this guy quickly, though. Ooh, that hurts him even if his eyes are closed. Whoops. Does it? Sometimes it doesn't hit at all. You still have to hit him in the eyes, I guess. So, it's not super effective. Whoops. Wind fucks you up, of course. Damn it. Matt, later. Ah! I was all happy about how fast I got through that section, and then I got fucked. Oh, right, when I did this on time trial the first time, I, like, died when I was fighting him a bunch of times.
Freeze right there. Bitter, heartless, gorgeous, ice. Elegant, cool. Shattered, shattered.
I don't think that was gold, sadly. Nope, it was almost gold. If I could shave some more time off, like, the mini-boss or something. I think that's totally manageable. Man, like 7 seconds. That's rough. I guess let's just try it again. Yeah, because I made a bunch of mistakes, really. Seriously. God, I did it again. I went too freaking fast. So many of these rooms you can just, like, skim right through. Big thing is, like, how do I put a hurt on this boss in a hurry? Oops. Spark did kinda well, I guess. Yeah, that'll do it. I just hope I have enough energy to kill Tundra Man still. Like that you can skip past that section. You know that, huh? Oh yeah, I lost a ton of time here. Which I just did again. Ice physics fucked me up there. I feel like that's run over. Like, I basically have to grab that energy to refill Fuse. And you, like, really have to wait for that wind to start. You can't, like, you can't trust that wind to be going by the time you get there. Oh yeah, Acid probably trivializes a lot of this shit, honestly. Really? Yeah, basically. Acid's terrible against Impact, man, but it's, like, really good at a bunch of other things. It's kind of idiotic. I think you're supposed to maybe start with Impact, man. Like, that's kind of what I'm getting from that. Oops. Whoops. It's not much better, honestly. Damn. Yeah, that's where it's at. What if I do this, and then this? That didn't work. Didn't work at all. If anything, that wasted more time than it did before. Why was that not a slide? Apparently I was at, like, 44 degrees instead of 45 degrees, so yeah. Like, everyone told me oh, the Joy-Con analog sticks suck and the Pro Controller's so much better. No, it's the same thing. It still registers inputs incorrectly all the fucking time. Like, all the time. I was complaining about this in Celeste yesterday, too. Like, I kept having diagonal inputs coming out, and, like, everybody told me, oh, that's a Joy-Con problem. The Pro Controller will fix that. Nope. Nope. That was dumb. It's a good controller, but it has not completely fixed my problems with the Joy-Con, for sure. The big problem that it has fixed is just that the buttons are a lot bigger. And that was something I hated about the Joy-Con, is the buttons were tiny. So yeah, that problem's fixed, but... especially the shoulders are like way bigger and just feel way better. Yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about, JMT, when I said that I was told the Pro Controller would fix everything. Yeah, it's more or less who I was referring to. That worked. Apparently I just used it a little too early. He did the jump thing again. Wow, okay, so acid doesn't work at all. Yup. Doesn't work at all. Protects you from their shots, but that's it. I almost grabbed that with the wrong weapon. That would have been catastrophic.
Trying to take my spotlight? You want to dance? Feel freeze. Dodge attack. Freeze right there. Over. Under. Everywhere. The last.
Wow, that was way faster, though. You honestly have a lot of room for at least one major mistake. I have a feeling most of the stages are like that. Where if you're, like, mostly perfect, that you're okay. Like, if you severely mess up one area, you're probably still okay, as long as you're not stuck there for, like, a minute flat. So I only have, like, I haven't done any jump saver or buster breakdown because it doesn't really sound fun. Score attack's the one where if you die, you have to start over, so I said fuck that. I know I had another gold somewhere. Oh, on boss rush. So I still have 3 golds. And yeah, Logan, that's why sometimes I won't, like, start over if I make a mistake, because who knows, you might still be able to pull it off. If I would have started that one over, then... Even the one before that I said screw it to, it was likely that it would have at least been close. So I could probably play challenge mode for a little while and bloat this for like an hour, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to call it quits early and get something to eat and probably get to my Monster Hunter farming. Let me see who I have for a raid target, though. Wow, YouTube Gaming is taking like a year and a half to load. What is going on? Thank you. I really only have one option, but at least it's a good option. It's a great option, actually. I think they're done with what they were playing and they're just hanging around, but that's okay. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it for tonight. Like I said, I could probably milk it for like an hour or two, but I'm hungry. Challenges, like, don't necessarily bring out the best in me. Sometimes they get me really grumpy and just mad. So I don't really love doing those on stream. But I might do another stream at some point where it's just doing challenge mode stuff. We'll see. But yeah, I think that'll be it. And then, like I said, tomorrow and Wednesday I'll be back with Eno for Monster Hunter. We'll probably finish G4 this week. And then Thursday, I don't know what I'm playing on Thursday, but I'll be streaming. Friday I'm off, and then I think Saturday and Sunday are both stream days too. But again, I don't know what I'll be playing yet. I'd say stay tuned on the Discord, but honestly, sometimes I decide that thing minutes before I start streaming. So, but yeah, before we call it quits, if you guys would join me on this raid, that would be great. As usual hashtag, and here's the link. We're gonna head over to Chadley's. He was playing Super Mario 3, but he's playing Punch-Out now, which tells me he finished Mario 3, but that's okay. It's still a good option. If the link doesn't work for you, it's spelled just like that. I will see you guys over there for the raid, and then I'll see you back here tomorrow for Monster Hunter. And thank you everybody for tuning in and hanging out and all that fun stuff. Take it easy, enjoy the rest of your night.